I simply stood there. He was squirming on the ground like a helpless infant. Everything seemed to move in slow motion from that point on. He looked panic stricken. I could only stand there, dazed and confused. It's too early for you to check out. You don't deserve to die like this. I was at his side, words that he obviously could not hear. Back then, he had had it all. The pangs and toils are not beyond my endurance. Victory will not be denied us. He walked his talk. It was obvious that he came from money. I'll admit one thing though, he ran his own race. He was determined to do things his own way. He loved to put on a show. The rich and famous flocked to his side. His extracurricular activities were probably as well known. I still can't figure out why he picked me to work with him. My family pedigree reflected no blue blood. He said he liked my hunger. I soaked it up like a sponge. A lasting friendship quickly developed between us. I will admit that he wasn't the easiest lawyer to work with. Serving as his junior was often an exercise in frustration. It was truly his way or the highway. This man could never be wrong. However, beneath his crusty exterior was a person who clearly cared about people. No matter how busy he was, he would always ask about my family. The real problem was that he was obsessed with work. He planned to take a month off. His workload continued to increase. It just kept on getting bigger and better. He was never one to back down from a good challenge. He continued to push himself harder and harder. It soon became clear to me. He was being consumed by the hunger for more prestige, more glory, more money. As expected, he became enormously successful. He achieved everything most people could ever want. Things were not as idyllic as they appeared on the surface. I observed the signs of impending doom. I was so much more perceptive than the others. We were always together because we were always at work. Things never seemed to slow down. No amount of preparation was ever enough for him. What would happen if the judge brought up this question or that question? God forbid. What would happen if our research was less than perfect? So we pushed ourselves to the limit. I got sucked into his little work-centered world as well. The more time I spent with him, the more I could see that he was driving himself deeper into the ground. It was as if he had some kind of a death wish. Nothing ever satisfied him. Eventually, his marriage failed. He no longer spoke with his father. He looked as if he was in his late 70s. His face was a mass of wrinkles. The late night dinners had left him embarrassingly overweight. He constantly complained that he was sick and tired of being sick and tired. He had lost his sense of humor and never seemed to laugh anymore. Personally, I think that he had lost his focus. His life had lost all purposes. He now droned on for hours. He now displayed a biting sarcasm. Simply put, his spark of life had begun to flicker. I sensed it went far deeper. It seemed to be a spiritual thing. Almost every day he would tell me. He felt no passion for what he was doing. He was enveloped by emptiness. He was initially pushed into it. It fueled his hopes. Something truly unspeakable had happened to him. I couldn't get anyone to open up about it. He said that he was sworn to secrecy. I had a suspicion. It in some way was contributing to his downward spiral. Sure, I was curious, but most of all, I wanted to help him. And then it happened. It reconnected him to his mortality. His condition has now stabilized and he will recover. One that I think you all must know. I knew he was having his share of troubles. I never thought he would quit. As well, after all that we had been through, I thought he should have had the courtesy to tell me this personally. He wouldn't even let me see him at the hospital. I'll tell you one thing though, it hurt. That whole episode was just over 3 years ago. He wanted to simplify his life. On your deathbed, you will never wish you spent more time at the office. So I started spending a little more time at home. We had unexpectedly parted company. One thing was certain, there's someone here to see you. He will not leave until he speaks with you. I am on my way out the door. I am going to grab a bite to eat. I don't have time to see anyone right now. Tell him to make an appointment like everybody else. Call security if he gives you any more trouble.